Rabotai, good morning. Before we begin today's class, I want to speak about what transpired this past Shabbat. It might not be very severe in your eyes, but Rabotai, these things Yom Kippur will not atone for. I was walking with my boys to the 3 o'clock p.m. minyan on Shabbat for our mincha. An elderly gentleman stops me, maybe a block and a half away from here, and he asks me, who are those two men that are walking in front of you? I mean, I couldn't see, it was a half a block away from in front of me. I said, I don't know. So now I'm looking where they're going. They ended up coming into you saw that they made it like a turn, and they ended up going into the house of Torah. So I told the gentleman, I said, is everything okay? He says, yeah, everything's okay, but I want to understand, why did they have to litter in front of my car? I said, what did they throw? Rabotai, listen to this. I guess he had a glass of cup of ice or something, and he threw it on the side and with a napkin. So he says, what kind of Jews are these? So Emil, you know me, I'm not going to be quiet. So here I am, I'm trying to scream out there, trying to get their attention, so at the very least come back and try to rectify the situation, pick up the garbage. They didn't hear me. I guess they were very far away from me, they did not hear me. So I told the guy, I said, I'll take care of it. He's like, it's not nice, and he started giving me a whole, lecture on how these things should not be done. I ended up coming to the shul, again from the back, I don't know who it was. I confronted a few people, they said, it wasn't us. Okay, it wasn't them. But Rabotai, we have to understand that right now, we are coming into the summer season, where it's getting hot, and people don't pay attention to what we do, or to what they do. And they throw garbage outside, and they're going to start behaving in certain ways. These things, Rabotai, are considered to be a chilul Hashem, the desecration of Hashem's name, especially when you're dressed in Shabbos clothes. A person needs to understand, you're not allowed to litter. Forget about what the law states. We as Jews, Rabotai, have to be more on a professional level. We have to understand, people are watching us from all around. Somebody was walking, Rabotai, it's just, you think nobody's watching you. But people from outside their windows, sometimes they're watching. He's walking, Rabotai, and he's spitting as he's walking along. All these things are a very big problem. We have to make sure, especially, Rabotai, he lives maybe a half a block right from the house, right over here in the middle of the block, not far away from the house of Torah. Especially when you're walking, and then, I saw where he went, from the straight road, you're able to see that he went right behind the car that was parked in front, I'm not going to say whose car, and he went inside the shul. I saw from there. Rabotai, we have to make sure that we show the right examples to everyone, and not chas v'shalom cause the desecration of Hashem's name. You want to come and you want to daven mincha at 3 p.m., because you want to do a mitzvah d'Rabbanan, but here you go, Nisan John. What did he do? He calls it chilul Hashem. That chilul Hashem, Rabotai, Yom Kippur will not atone. People do not understand. Yom Kippur will not atone for chilul Hashem. What's going to atone for chilul Hashem? Death when he dies. Some say if he learns Torah, he takes upon himself to start learning Torah and to learn halachot of never to desecrate Hashem's name again and start doing kiddush Hashem. It's not a very simple thing. We have to be very careful not to do mitzvot and at the same time do avirot. The same concept you have, Rabotai, when you come to shul, right? You want to come and you want to daven in shul. You want to come and you want to speak to Hashem, which is the mitzvah d'Rabbanan to daven, but at the same time you're doing isurim deoraita. You are consecrating Hashem's house. How? By speaking in shul or by using your phone or anything like that. Okay, we have to be very careful. We are continuing back in Siman Memvav in halachot of the morning blessings. After we spoke about that when a person wakes up from his sleep, he has to say the blessing of Elohai Neshama. Continues the Shulchan Aruch in Halacha Aleph, and he says, Ki sheyishma kol atar nagol, yivarech hanoten lesachvi binah. When a person hears the voice of the rooster, you have to bless the blessing that Hashem gives to the Sachvi. We're going to see what it is. Binah. Now, Rabotai, Baruch Hashem, today, I don't know how many people have roosters in their backyard, but you have to understand that this bracha is coming to teach us something even much more deeper than we think. The Mishnah Berurah says, in the language of the verses, which is brought down in Tanakh, if you take the word sachvi, sachvi means lev. It means the heart. If you look into Iyov, in Perek Lamed Chet Pasuk Lamed Vav, he says over there, O min natan lesachvi bina. Who gave understanding to the sachvi? What is the sachvi? According to one understanding, Rashi says it is the heart. The language over there is like this. Zehalev, the word sachvi is, this is the heart. Shehu shokhe, he's able to look. Vetzofe, he's able to watch. Umechashev et hanolodot, and he's able to consider the coming of events. He knows what's going to happen. The heart is able to feel. Continues the Mishnah Berurah and he says, if that is the case, ve'alev hu hamivin, if the understanding is that the heart is the one that understands, and through understanding a person is able to make a distinguishment between night and day. He continues and he says, also you have the rooster, also understands the night and day. Also a person gets enjoyment from when he hears the rooster, because he knows now it's closer to the day. However, he says, in Arabic, we also call sachvi a rooster. That's why they instituted this blessing of Hanoten sachvi bina, when you hear the rooster crow. Now, Rabotai, watch this very carefully. If we're going to go with the understanding, like it's brought down in the Tanakh, that the word sachvi means the heart, and through that Hashem gives us understanding, this is a very important blessing to say. When you're saying Hanoten sachvi bina lahavchi benim milayla, you're praying to HaKadosh Baruch Hu that He should give you the right understanding in your heart to distinguish between day and night. Mazet be day and night. What's day and night? You don't know what's day and night? Rabotai, we have day and night every single time. Every single day we have to make the right decision, which is good, which is day, which is night, which is bad. You have to pray to Hashem that we don't have to come to this problem, that your heart is going to be able to make that distinguishment and that difference between what's good and what's bad. That's after Havdalah. What do we say, Rabotai? We say Hamavdil ben Kodesh lechol. Rabotai, not a lot of people are able to make this distinguishment. By them, everything is like one borscht. So that's why when we say this bracha of Hanoten l'sachvi bina, you have to have that in mind, that Hashem should really give you the understanding in your heart to be able to make the right decisions, to be able to distinguish between what's right and what's wrong. If somebody's going to tell me, Rabbi, is that so hard to go to make the decision between what's right and wrong? It is. It is, Rabotai. It's very hard. And this is why, Rabotai, a lot of people are, unfortunately, they might think they're successful, but they're not. I was speaking about Shabbat. What is considered to be success? And what is considered to be failure? If I ask you guys today, what's considered to be, who's successful and who's not successful? Rabotai, listen to this very carefully. If I guarantee you today $100 billion, and you have 10 children, and each one is off the derech, one is gay, one is lesbian, one who knows where he is, you want that money? But you're successful, you have all the money. Let's go the other way. If I guarantee you, Rabotai, all 10 children are going to become big Talmidei Chacham, they're going to be like Chacham Ovadia, Rav Chaim Igal, Rav Yosef Shlomo Elyashiv, Darizal, great Talmidei Chachamim. But Rabotai, you're not going to have 100, you're going to live, but not with $100 billion. You want that money? You're going to be happy with 30,000 a month, 10,000 a month, 5,000 a month? Yes or no? Rabotai, the greatest success is when you see your children going the right direction. That is what's called success. Not what people show us today. The cars they drive, the houses they live in, the vacation. That's not success, Rabotai. All that is temporary. What success is what stays behind. When a person dies, what's going to be able to pay you dividends is the kids' actions. Okay. We are now moving on to the sefer called Ve'elam U'Michshol. He brings down over here, he says, in regarding to drinking water or other drinks while standing. He says, "V'ra'ui v'nachon lihimanel miloshot mayim ushar mashkim ba'amida, mishum sheyesh shomrim sheyesh b'zeh chisaron derech eretz." it is proper and correct to refrain from drinking water or any other drink while you are standing, because you are not showing the proper derech eretz. You are lacking derech eretz. So therefore, Rabotai, you sometimes have people, they forget about eating. Eating for sure you shouldn't be doing when you're standing. But drinking is still a machlok, but that's what he says is proper. Sometimes you have people, they drink while standing. Especially in the parties, Rabotai, you see right away these people have no derech eretz. Someone even learn that there's also a concern for danger to one's life. He says, nevertheless, if it's hard for you to find a place where you're going to sit, and now he wants to go and he wants to drink standing, he has what to rely on. Beseder. But now, Rabotai, not to do it. You guys have to understand. This whole book is about derech eretz. You might want to know, why are we learning so much about derech eretz, Rabotai? You have to understand, you do a lot of times business with people. Shidduchim, marriages, who are you going to be the friends of your children, all these things, who are your neighbors. How are you able to tell who they are, Rabotai, from all these halachot that we're learning? This is derech eretz. There is a sefer that is called Shut Rav Pa'alim, a very beautiful sefer. It was written by the student of Rav Moshe Feinstein. He asked a question. Why when you guys do Kiddush on Friday night, or when we do Kiddush on Friday night, why do we say the bracha standing and we drink it sitting? מה קרה רונן? מה יש? חשבת על זה? You know what he says, Rabotai? He says, I'll tell you why. שמנהג זהו מתור דרך ארץ של הסעודה. This custom that we sit down, it's only because of derech eretz that we have to do during the meal. You see, Rabotai, to what extent it goes not to be drinking while you are standing. B'ezrat Hashem, Rabotai, may we be able to improve our characters. Baruch Adonai L'olam, Amen, Amen.